back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, we're going to discuss another set of topic in mathematics, which is all about finding the segment or finding the coordinates of the midpoint of a given segment whose endpoints are given. So disclaimer, I'm just going to explain the concept of midpoint using the midpoint formula under my capacity or capability to explain the concept of midpoint. So now I have here examples to be used in this video. So I have here 5 examples that we are going to use. 4 examples that we are going to use in this video. So our task here is to find the coordinates of the midpoint of each segment with the given endpoints. So the endpoints of the given segment are given, and what we are going to do is to find the coordinates of the midpoint. So midpoint is meaning to say from the term middle. So middle point or middle coordinates. So from the given 2 sets of endpoints from a line segment. So we have here for number 1, let us start, -4, -6, 8, 14. So what we're going to do here is to find the coordinates of the midpoint of these 2 endpoints here. So as a recall, we have the formula for midpoint is we have x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2, and we have y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. So this is the formula for midpoint. So kindly take this one, or kindly take down this one, take note of this one. So now since we have here the formula x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2, comma, we have y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. So this is the formula for finding the midpoint of a line segment whose endpoints are given. So here, identify from the given points or given endpoints, identify which one is the value of our x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. So the first ordered pair should be our x sub 1, y sub 1, and the second will be automatically x sub 2, y sub 2. So from the given endpoints, we can directly substitute the given values in our formula. So since we have midpoint will be is equals to, so by substituting, our x sub 1 is -4. So -4 plus our x sub 2 is 8, that is plus 8, then over 2, then comma, our y sub 1 is -6, so -6 plus our y sub 2 is 14, then you can get this form after substituting all the given values from the given 2 endpoints. So after that, simplify the given, or simplify the expression inside the parentheses. So we have -4 plus 8, that is 8. Sorry for that. -4 plus 8, that is 4, 4 divided by 2. Then -6 plus 14, that is 8. Then over 2. So we have to simplify this one further. This is very easy. This is just very simple. If we are going to use numbers which are whole number, okay, it is very important that you know how to substitute and identify the values, and also you are familiar with the proper way of adding integers with negative and positive signs. So we have 4 over 2, or that is 4 divided by 2, that is 2. Then 8 divided by 2, that is 4. So now we can tell, or we can say that this 2, 4, or the coordinates of 2, 4 is the midpoint. The midpoint or the middle point, or the point between -4, -6 and 8, 14. So this is the middlemost point between -4, -6 and 8, 14, which are considered as our endpoints in a line segment here. So this is now our answer. So the midpoint of the given endpoints of the line segment, which is -4, -6, 8, 14, is 2, 4. Okay, so let us move to the second example. So we have here -9. The same thing that we're going to do, we have to find the coordinates of the midpoint of each segment with the given endpoints. So these are the given endpoints here for number 2. So identify first which is our x sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Okay, using the formula for the midpoint, we can have x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2. Then we can have y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. Okay, simply substitute the given values. Very simple for this. I can tell that this is very simple way of using the midpoint formula. So do not forget the midpoint formula so that you can have a smooth or spontaneous way of solving or finding the midpoint of the given endpoints in a line segment. So we have now x sub 1 here is negative 9. Okay, let me write it correctly. So negative 9 plus our x sub 2 is 2 over 2. Then our y sub 1 is 3 plus our y sub 2 is negative 6 over 2. Okay. So now we have negative 9 plus 2, that is negative 7 over 2. Okay, then we have 3 plus negative 6, so that is negative 3 over 2. So we can have this one as our answer, negative 7 halves and 3 halves as our midpoint. We can have this one, or you can get the decimal point of this one. Okay, you can have 3.5 negative 3.5, and we also have negative 1.5. so you can have this midpoint or answer, negative 3.5, negative 1.5, or we can have negative 7 halves and negative 3 halves. So either of the two can do. Okay, so that's it for number 2. This is the answer, or this is already the coordinates of the midpoint here, in which the given endpoints are negative 9, 3, 2, negative 6 of the line segment. So we have here, let us proceed to number 3. So again, just directly identify the x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. So always remember that the first coordinate should be or must be the x sub 1, y sub 1, and the second will automatically be the values for your x sub 2 and y sub 2. Okay, so we can also have we can interchange x sub 1 and x sub 2, but always do the same for the y values or y variables. So we can have x sub 2 plus x sub 1 over 2, and we have y sub 2 plus y sub 1. So this is different from the form here, since x sub 1 comes first, and this formula, thus x sub 2 comes first, but they are all the same. So as long as they will not interchange each other. So if x sub 2 comes first, then automatically in the next variable, y sub 2 also will come first. Okay, so we have here our x sub 2 is negative 4 plus our x sub 1 is 1 half. Okay, be careful with this. We are dealing already with fractional number. So we have y sub 2 is 1/3 plus our y sub 1 is 3 all over 2. Okay, so now simplify the numerator, or simplify negative 4 plus 1 half. So since negative 4 and 1 half are let me rewrite it again. So over 2. So since negative 4 and 1 half have no common, has different denominators or unlike denominators, then we are going to get the LCD of negative 4 and 1 half. So negative 4 plus 1 half, so negative 4 is automatically over 1. So that is why the least common denominator between negative 4 and 1 half is 2. And then 2 divided by 1, that is 2, times negative 4, that is negative 8, plus 2 divided by 2, that is 1, times 1, that is 1, then all over 2. Then the same thing with the y values. We have 1/3 plus 3, that is over 1, automatic over 1. Our 3, which is a whole number, is automatically over 1, or the denominator is automatic to be 1. So the least common denominator will be 3. So 3 divided by 3, that is 1, times 1, that is 1, plus 3 times, divided by 1, that is 3, times 3, that is 9, all over 2. Okay, so simplify. We have negative 8 plus 1, that is negative 7 over 2, then over 2. So 7 halves over 2, then 1 plus 9, that is 10 over 3, then all over 2. So now in this form, this is not yet the final answer, since we can simplify this one further. In dividing fractions or rational numbers, you are going to get the reciprocal of the denominator and then proceed to multiplication. So multiply the numerator with the reciprocal of your denominator. So our numerator is negative 7 halves. Then multiply that one to, this dot represents multiplication symbol. So negative 7 halves. So negative 7 halves again times the reciprocal. Again, the rule in dividing rational numbers or fractions, just get the reciprocal of the denominator. So our denominator here is 2. So it will just simply mean that you are going to get the reciprocal of 2. So that is 1 half. Then multiply that one to the numerator, which is negative 7 halves. So negative 7 halves times the reciprocal of the denominator, which is 2. So that will become 1 half. That is meant by reciprocal. This just interchange the numerator and denominator of the denominator. So that is the reciprocal of 2, that is 2 over 1. So the reciprocal of 2 over 1, that is 1 half. So you are just going to interchange 1 and 2. Okay, then multiply that one to that numerator. Next, the same thing that we are going to do for the second values, or this other side. We have 10 over 3. Then multiply that one to numerator or denominator, that is 1 half, the reciprocal. So next, let us simplify further. So we have negative 7 times 1 half. So negative 7 times 1, that is negative 7. Then 2 times 2, that is 4. Then 10 times 1, that is 10. Then we have 3 times 2, that is 6. So we can have this one as our answer, or you can write this one into decimal form. Again, this is already the coordinates of the midpoint of the line segment whose endpoints are 1 half and 3, negative 4 and 1/3. So the answer is negative 7 over 4 and 10 over 6. So this is already the midpoint. Or you can express again this one into decimal form. Okay, so next, let us move to number 4. This is very confusing, since we are going to use fractional numbers. All coordinates or values of x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2 are expressed in terms of fractions. So we have to be very careful with this. So pay attention on the sign and also the way you are going to simplify. So we have here the formula x sub 2 plus x sub 1 over 2, the constant formula for getting the midpoint or coordinates of a midpoint. So we have here x sub 2 plus x sub 1. So again, identify first x sub 1, y sub 1. So the first coordinate shall be x sub 1, y sub 1, and the second point shall be x sub 2, y, sorry for this, y sub 2. Okay, this is y sub 2. Okay, let me write y sub 2. Okay, so our x sub 2, let us directly substitute that one. Our x sub 2 is 1/4. So 1/4 minus, plus, our x sub 1 is negative 2/3 all over 2. Then for the y, we have y sub 2 is negative 1/2 plus our y sub 1 is negative 1/5. Okay, then all over 2. So now simplify 1/4 plus negative 2/3. So let me rewrite that one this way. Negative 2/3. 1/4 minus 2/3 all over 2. And we have negative 1/2. Negative 1/2 minus 1/5 all over 2. So we have now, to make it clear. So let us continue. We have 1/4 minus 2/3. As you can observe, the two fractions have different denominators. So their denominators are 4 and 3. So what we are going to do is to get the LCD of 1/4 and 2/3. So the least common denominator is 12. Okay, so 12. So after getting the LCD, divide the LCD by each denominator. So 12 divided by 4, that is 3 times 1, that is 3. Then 12 divided by 3, that is 4. Times 2, that is 8. So, 12 divided by 3, that is 4, times negative 2, that is negative 8. Then over 2. Then for the second term, or the second values for y sub 2, y sub 1, then the same thing that we are going to do in the other side. So negative 1/2 minus 1/5. So get the LCD since they don't have the same denominator or they contain unlike denominators. So you will get 10 as their least common denominator. So 10 divided by 2, that is 5, times negative 1, that is negative 5. 10 divided by 5, that is 2. Then 2 times negative 1, that is negative 2. Again 10 divided by 5, that is 2. 2 times negative 1, that is negative 2. All over 2. So simplify further. 3 minus 8, that is negative 5 over 12. All over 2. Negative 5 minus 7, that is negative 7. 10 all over 2. Again, the same thing that we're going to do in this example with what we did for the example number 3, which is this one. So this can be reduced, or this can be expressed into the simplest form of expressing this one. So we can get the rule for dividing rational expression or fraction numbers. Just get the reciprocal of the denominator here, which is 2, and then multiply that one to the numerator. So we'll get negative 5 over 12 times the reciprocal of 2, that is 1/2. Then the same thing for the right side. We have negative 7 over 10 times, again this dot here represents the symbol for multiplication. So times the reciprocal of our denominator, which is 1/2. So the reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. So we have here now negative 5 times 1, that is negative 5. Then 12 times 2, that is 24. And for the other side, negative 7 times 1, that is negative 7. Then 10 times 2, that is 20. So as we can observe here, negative 5 over 24 and negative 7 over 20 can no longer be reduced into lowest term. So this can now be considered as our midpoint for the given points of the line segment, or the given endpoints of the line segment, which are negative 2/3, negative 1/5, and 1/4, negative 1/2. So again, since this can no longer be reduced into lowest term, then this is already the final answer. But if it happens that there is still another way, or you can still express this one into lowest term, then express that one to lowest term, so that we can have a simplified form of our answer. So that's all for this video. I hope you learned something out from the explanation based on my knowledge or under my capacity to explain it. So that's all. Thank you for watching, and God bless everyone.